Hiya, my name's Charlie and welcome to my channel and welcome to my lovely guest.
Charlie, hi.
Right, so as you guys can tell from the title, today we are doing predicting the book winner based upon first line. So it's a first line battle. This video is inspired by the lovely Lauren from Lauren and the Books, whose channel will link in the description. I'll link one of her first line battles in the description. I always love those videos. I just think they're so much fun to watch. And what Lauren does, in case you haven't seen for some reason, you live somewhere in the back of nowhere, Lauren picks a pile of books off her shelves and she goes through like all the different coloured ones, and she goes through and battles each book out from their first line. Is that correctly?
Yeah, so I will be reading the first lines of each of the books on the Booker Prize long list to Charlie, and each book Charlie will decide which one she believes has the better first line until we get to the final one, and that one is the book that Charlie is saying will be the book that wins the Booker Prize this year.
Based purely on the first line, we're going to be trying to predict the winner of the Booker.
Well, you are.
Well, I am going to be trying, yes.
Because I could be disagreeing with you entirely.
Yeah, 100% Charlie will disagree with me. Charlie will trash what I'm thinking. So yeah, I have actually read 5 of these books. So I'll go, but that I'm not going to let that influence me because I'm only doing it on the thing. But I will let you know, guys, know. So I have actually finished Old God's Time by Sebastian Barry, If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffrey, Pearl by Sian Hughes, In Ascension by Martin McInnes, The House of Doors by Tan Twang Eng. So yeah, those are the ones I've read, but I'm not going to let that influence me. I'm just going to purely do it based upon what I think of the first lines. So yeah, we shall see. And Charlie's got them all in alphabetical order prepared.
I have, because that's the way I like to do things. Would you like to get started, Charlie?
Let's get started, Charlie.
Okay, so we are going to begin with A Spell of Good Things by Ayobami Adebayo. And our first line is... well, it's only 3 words, Charlie, so should I read the first 2 lines? Caro was angry. After one of her apprentices read the notice of meeting out loud to her, she threw it across the room into a dustbin.
Ooh. Well, it's the winner because obviously it's the first one.
So. Currently winning because there is no other one read yet.
But obviously she's angry. Oh, I like, you know, I think that's a good start. That's okay.
And now we move on to one that Charlie has already read with Old God's Time by Sebastian Barry.
I don't remember the first line.
Of which I am currently reading.
Yeah.
Sometime in the 60s, old Mr. Tamalti had put up an incongruous lean-to addition to his Victorian castle.
I'll read the first line of the other one again.
Caro was angry. After one of her apprentices read the notice of meeting out loud to her, she threw it across the room into a dustbin.
And versus... sorry, we're going to have to just...
Sometime in the 60s, old Mr. Tamalti had put up an incongruous lean-to addition to his Victorian castle.
I think I'm going to go with Spell of Good Things because I like an angry character entices me slightly more. And I think that line is like, to me.
I would have made the same decision on that one.
Okay.
So next, we're moving on to Study for Obedience by Sarah Bernstein. It was the year the sow eradicated her piglets.
Ooh.
I know.
That's quite strong, actually. That surprised me because this is a book that I'm kind of a bit not so sure about. It was the year that the sow eradicated
her piglets.
Versus
Caro was angry. After one of her apprentices read the notice of meeting out loud to her, she threw it across the room into a dustbin. Was the year the sow eradicated her piglets.
I think I'm going to go with the piglets.
Yeah, so would I. So would I. Would have made the same decision there.
There you go.
So now we're moving on to If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffrey. Yeah, A Study for Obedience is currently in the lead. Now, the only thing I wonder about with it is If I Survive You is the fact that it's interconnected short stories, isn't it? So
yeah,
you don't
still classed as a novel, so you know.
So It begins with "What are you?" hollered from the perimeter of your front yard when you're 9. Younger, probably.
No, I already know I prefer the piglet one, so
We're still in agreement here.
it might change though.
It might, later on it might. So then we have How to Build a Boat by Elaine Feeney.
This is a book I'm very excited for, actually.
Oh, okay. Starts with a prologue. Jamie said, "When I grow up, I will be as tall as these trees," and he sprawled fast like a salamander along a trunk.
Oh, I like that.
I do too. I'm not sure whether it beats.
Yeah, you have to
the
read
year
the other
the
one again.
sow eradicated her piglets.
I don't know. Read it again. So read both again.
It was the year the sow eradicated her piglets. Or
Versus.
Jamie said, "When I grow up, I will be as tall as these trees," and he sprawled fast like a salamander along a trunk.
This is really hard. I don't know how Lauren does this.
Like 2 completely different tones.
Very different. But what am I more intrigued by?
It's like, do you like the grim idea of a sow killing all of its young, or the childlike innocence in a salamander?
Oh, I like both. It's going to be really hard. I think I'm going ahead with the sow, actually. Fuck it. I'm just going to head with the sow.
Yeah.
I do really like the idea of the salamander, though. So that is like, I'm really excited to read that book. I probably will enjoy that book more than I will enjoy this.
But as we know, it's the first line.
It's
so
based upon the first line, yeah. So
then we move on to this other Eden by Paul
I haven't
Harding.
actually got a copy of this. This is one of the few ones I haven't actually got a copy of.
Benjamin Honey, American Bantu Igbo, born enslaved, freed or fled at 15, only he ever knew. Ship's carpenter, aspiring orchidist, arrived on the island with his wife, Patience Nairafety, Galway girl, in 1793.
I mean, that's a lot.
That is a lot. And
I still want the pigs. I'm sorry.
Decision, but yeah, for me, that was pigs too.
It does sound good though, so
it sounds good, but it's one of those where
the sentence runs on, so I'm kind of like,
runs on, and like the sound is just so immediate and like it's an image in your mind.
Yeah, I think
like,
you're right.
Whereas that is kind of like, okay, so we know about this character, but like,
and it feels like I would like, based upon that long line, I'm like, is it the whole book's like that? I'm like,
how much do I need to know?
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of The Pearl by Sian Hughes, I'm not going to read the poem at the start of the chapter.
No, we're not going
to go straight in.
Yeah.
At the end of every summer, I take Susanna back to my home village for a sort of carnival called the Wakes.
Read it again.
At the end of every summer, I take Susanna back to my home village for a sort of carnival called the Wakes.
No, the pigs are winning still. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me about the pigs still, or would you?
Oh yeah, no, I am still in agreement about the pigs.
Not that I'm doing it for that, because it's interesting. It's just interesting seeing what yeah.
Right. Then we move on to All the Little Bird Hearts, and Charlie knows I've been put off this book because of the font. So
show me the font, because I haven't obviously listening to this on audio. I want to see.
I might have to send you a photo later.
Oh yeah, you have to send me a photo. Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
There's just something about the font that I find completely off-putting.
That's annoying when you have that in a book.
Okay. It was only 3 years ago that I saw Vita for the first time.
No, the pigs are still winning.
Okay.
It's shocking, because I know, like, in terms of my actual, what I think will be my favourite from but like All the Little Bird Hearts is the one I think is going to be my favourite from the whole long list. So this is, even though I haven't actually finished it yet, but no.
And now we're on to Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. The night has come and she has not heard the knocking, standing at the window looking out onto the garden.
Ooh. We'll say that again.
The night has come and she has not heard the knocking, standing at the window looking out onto the garden.
I'm actually quite intrigued by that. And this
it was the year the sow eradicated her piglets.
Oh, it's so difficult. No, I'm going to go actually with the Prophet Song on this one.
Wow. Prophet
That's
song.
because, like, I think something about night and like knocking, it's very, again, unsettling. And so,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know, something about that. I'm just like, oh, actually,
Okay.
they ditch it. So ditching the pigs.
The pigs have gone. Their mother killed them, and now Charlie's killed them too.
They're off.
So now we move on to In Ascension by Martin McInnes. I was born in the lowest part of the country, 22 feet beneath the sea.
I mean, that is a good line. That is a good line. I'm not going to lie.
Versus.
I still think the Prophet song, though. Sorry.
Okay.
Or was it Prophet song rather than the
It's
Prophet
just
song?
Prophet song, yeah. And now we move on to Western Lane by Chetna Maru. I don't know if you have ever stood in the middle of a squash court on the tee and listened to what is going on next door.
I mean, that's quite mild.
Yeah.
For a first line, that's quite mild. So I'm
Prophet
still
song.
sticking with Prophet song.
Okay. And now we move on to The Bee Sting by Paul Murray.
This is a beefy boy, isn't it? This is a big one.
This is, and at the moment, this is the one I'm looking forward to most of all. I wasn't at first, but now that it's like, I know more and Family Saga and that sort of thing. Right. Let's see how Charlie contends with this first line. In the next town over, a man had killed his family. Versus, the night has come and she has not heard the knocking, standing at the window looking out onto the garden.
No, I Prophet song still wins for me.
Okay.
I do like the I do like the sound of the bee sting though. But yeah, I think I don't know. It's something about the way that it's written that I feel like the Prophet song sort of, yeah. So is that the winner then?
No, you've got one more with The House of Doors by Tan.
And this is a really good book. I love this book. So I'll try not to be prejudiced, as I have done with all of these.
A story, like a bird of the mountain, can carry a name beyond the clouds, beyond even time itself.
Oh, it's really hard because that's really gorgeous. Oh, this is gonna really kill me.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because that's one of the things about this book. There are some very nice bits of prose in it.
So go again, read them both again.
So we'll go with Prophet Song first. The night has come and she has not heard the knocking, standing at the window looking out onto the garden. Versus a story, like a bird of the mountain, can carry a name beyond the clouds, beyond even time itself.
I'm really all right. Oh, this kills me. But actually, I think, and this is not me being biased, I genuinely think the House of Doors, and also if you guys know me, like I love Doctor Who and like the time thing, it's just like, so yeah, I think the Tan Tan Eng wins it. I was like, for me, it wins it.
Well, there you go.
It's very like, I know it's kind of a little bit flowery, which people don't always like, but for me, that line is just like, I'm sorry, that is like outstanding.
Yeah, it is a great Charlie line, that one.
So which one would you have picked, Charlie?
The Bee Sting would have got further for me.
Yeah.
Than it did with Prophet Song. But I do like that first line by Tan Twan Eng.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous first line.
And throughout the entire book, there are moments like that where they're incredibly quotable. And so, yeah, the House of Doors would have won that.
Just for the first line.
Yeah, just on the first line, the House of Doors would have won that for me. Because
so you guys in the comments, tell us which book you would have picked based upon first line only. I am predicting that Tan Twan Eng's The House of Doors is going to be the winner of the Booker 2023. That is based upon the first line only. This is this is my prediction.
But you have to wait for the Charlie and Charlie science list before we actually.
Yeah, that's going to be the true one.
That's going to properly separate the
cat amongst the pigeons.
Wheat from the cat.
That was lots of fun. Yeah, so like I said in the comments, let us know which books you're most interested in. Are there any books that you kind of think, what books are your least favorite lines out of all of those? Which books? So I'm trying to think what are the most forgettable. I can't even remember. I didn't. Which one?
For me, quite honestly, that and that have the most forgettable. Actually, Pearl, really forgettable.
I'm not going to say anything about Pearl.
Yeah, Pearl is a book that we both long
It was not a Charlie book. Collectively, Pearl is not a collective Charlie book. But do you know what? There's loads of people that love it. So this
and
book.
those people are wrong.
Anyway, so we're going to wrap this one up. Yeah, let us know which books you're reading for the Booker. Let us know, yeah, all of the good stuff in the comments. We'll have a good old natter with you, and we'll go over to Charlie's channel because we're going to be doing in a second. We're going to be filming a word association kind of. You say what we're filming.
That we are filming a word association for my channel. We did this last year, in which we went through each of the titles and said what they were making us think of, shared a few thoughts. So that's what we will be doing over on my channel. So
in the description,
hop over and watch that video.
Links in the description. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Say goodbye, Charlie.
Bye.